Everyone loves a high mileage hero. Everyone wants to know what cars can do the high miles, not just 200,000, I'm talking 500,000, maybe even a million miles. These are cars that we may not find very interesting, but cars we can depend on and be reliable for a very long time. And just out of pure curiosity, what cars can go to the moon and back, quite literally? You may recall a video I made several years ago which has been very popular on cars that will reach 500k miles. Well, I wanted to update that in this video and talk about more specific cars that can do those miles. This video is a little bit outdated, and while those cars are still true to be able to make that mileage, these cars are consistent and well-known cars. Cars in this may be a little bit older, and that is because, quite frankly and simply, a lot of cars won't have had time to be able to reach those 500,000 to 1 million mile clubs just because of their age. While I was tempted to include the Honda Civic, being well known for doing high miles, the Honda Accord was a car that kept coming up when I looked through reviews and surveys. The Accord has been around since 1976 and has never been a very exciting or entertaining car, let's be honest, but if you're looking for an affordable vehicle and to do well over 500,000 miles, potentially more, you don't need to look really any further. A Honda Accord is a safe, reliable and comfortable urban warrior, and the Accord has a very long history of its good reasons to get to that history of miles. 9th generation was offered with a lot of engines, including a 3.5 litre V6. This specific engine was very, very reliable, and I don't want to just use the word reliable, I also want to use the word very dependable. It was spacious and a comfortable cabin to be able to do those long miles. You always see a lot of them for sale, and they're always holding a low but to medium price range because people know they're great cars. A number of luxury touches such as Bluetooth connectivity to a high quality leather, these cars still seem to look like they just came out of the factory if they were cleaned up right. A lot of Accords have been verified to achieving over 1 million miles according to the Honda Million Mile Club. On the last video, I included the Toyota Prius, and that is fairly well known for doing those high miles, given that it's used as a taxi quite frequently around the world. The one Toyota I didn't include was the Toyota Land Cruiser. Anyone who knows anything about cars is aware of how reliable the Toyota brand is, and more specifically, the Toyota Land Cruiser is one of the cars that has made it into the top 100 series of best cars ever. Land Cruisers have been in production since around 1951, and with all the history that comes with a great deal of cars like this, there's a lot of technical know-how from Toyota. The 100 series released in 1998 was the latest in the line of go anywhere to do anything vehicles, and this is the car specifically from the 1988 model that was able to do the super high miles. Go anywhere in the world and you'll probably still see this model of 1998 Land Cruiser today. Yes, while there are new ones that are big and fancy, we still haven't been able to see many of them do the super high miles, so the Land Cruiser is well known at the age it is to be able to get to that mileage. It came with a fantastic 4.7 litre V8 engine that produced 235 horsepower and had very different differentials and a low range gearbox. A lot of Land Cruisers have been well known to make it over 200,000 miles, so there's no doubt that a 500,000 mile one is out there somewhere. There's a good reason why Volvo have a high mileage owners club, and that is because a lot of Volvos do typically reach 100, 200, 300,000 miles. So again, there's no doubt these cars can reach that 500k unit. One car in particular from the Volvo range, even though a lot of them are great, are the old V70s and S60s. These are cars that have found themselves reaching super high mileage due to the engine that was included, which was a 3 litre turbocharged inline 6. It could be paired with an electric motor for plug-in hybrid as well. It's been praised for its comfort, additional handling and road safety features in a lot of Volvos, and it has over the years proved itself to be a very reliable car. The S60 in particular was offered with a range of engines as well. The S60 also became known as one of Volvo's most reliable cars. Many examples did include a 200,000 miles over their lifetimes. You can also grab one of these for less than about £8,000 today. One that might be a little bit controversial on this list admittedly is the Subaru Legacy, or the Subaru Legacy Outback. Legacy is an all-wheel drive mid-size sedan that's been around since around 1980s. This car is a spacious, comfortable and affordable car for a family, and that's what makes it a great high mileage car as well. It's one of the few sedans that comes with an all-wheel drive off-roader ability as well. It's not uncommon to see Legacies that have reached mostly 200,000 to 300,000 miles, particularly on Auto Trader. However, how long your vehicle lasts always depends on how well someone's cared for it or you care for it. Poor maintenance, accidents and reckless driving will always be an issue. Subaru is particularly famous for designing vehicles with a longer lifespan than most vehicles. You've all seen them in rallying, and a lot of them have reached 150, 200,000, past 300,000 miles, a lot of owners claim. The Legacy is just a great car, and the fact it can do it from such a cheap price is well known. The model you'll be after is an early 2000s model, as these seem to be quite rugged and dependable. Now, new Mercedes don't always run for very long, and often they can be known as a bit of bad reliability in today's world, but old Mercs have been known to run into the ground after hundreds of thousands of miles. Take Africa or places like Romania, where these cars run and older versions are constantly used. Yes, some old Mercedes with diesel engines have been known to run up to 1,000,000 miles, or more with proper maintenance and care. The durability and longevity of these cars is often attributed to their robust engineering and well-built diesel engines back in the 90s and early 2000s. However, achieving such high mileage requires diligent maintenance as always. One specific engine is the W124. This particularly came in the E-Class name. Despite modern technology of recent, this car is still rugged and reliable. It's only going to appreciate as the years roll on. The E-Class was used as a taxi and a police car for quite a lot of Europe, and you always see an older E-Class or old Mercedes being used in more developing countries. Now, this isn't a car, this is an engine. While Volkswagens typically hate it in the scene and any badge vehicle, the 1.9 TDI engine has been well known to reach 500,000 miles in a lot of Golfs and Passats. The 1.9 TDI is a legendary engine, and probably an engine that was mostly used from Volkswagen, a lot of turbo diesels. If anything, this is the engine that you're going to want to go for if you're going to want to reach 500,000 miles. Not necessarily the car, but anything with this engine. It can also be in Audis or Seats, and most people have never had a problem with a 1.9 TDI engine. It's potentially one of the best and most reliable VAG diesel engines that has ever been produced. Turbocharged direct injection engines have been well known for their longevity when properly maintained. A lot of maintenance and care with these diesel engines can often reach mileage with over 200,000. So if you're looking for a car to go to the moon and back, it's probably the 1.9 TDI out of the whole of this list. Yes, diesels aren't as popular, but a TDI engine will always run forever. You know the ones I mean, smoky and potentially terrible for emissions. And with Volkswagen absolutely axing them, we have them no more. Just pick any German-related car from Volkswagen, Audi and Seat, this is the one.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, it really helps me out. I hope you enjoy the car content.